hoping to get going here at 11-9 and 3-4 in the league. They're going to have to win most of their games to have a shot at the NCAA tournament. 7 of their final 11 games are here, though, at Powell Pavilion.
If you're UCLA, run everything through Kevon Looney, because the Kevon Looney-Chris Reyes matchup tonight is going to be determinant.
It was Powell, though, taking the game's first shot. And now Utah with possession. Delon Wright will play the point, but he can defend multiple positions, and we'll see him do that on the other end.
But if the strength of your team, UCLA, is your power guys inside, why open the game with a three-pointer? Inexplicable.
Wright has it stripped by Powell. And a 3-on-1. Powell will keep it himself and get the roll.
Just overpowering the 3-on. Utah off to a sluggish start, though, overall.
Here's Looney for 3. A lot of perimeter looks by UCLA so far, and they're not going down. Bruins missed their last 6. A 3-minute drought. Here's the 3 by Loveridge, too strong, and Looney corralled.
UCLA wants to push the ball, which is Utah's strength as well.
And Powell with the basket. He has all 4 for UCLA, and both those field goals coming in transition.
Coach Kraskowiak for the Utes, right on it at practice this morning, telling his players that when Norman Powell's coming to the hoop, he's shooting it every time. Beautiful drive, Delon Wright. 1 of the 4 Los Angeles native 11 guys.
Yep.
Arizona's, they've got 11 guys. They don't play all of them all the time, though.
Great block by Reyes on Parker. Terrific defense.
The Kings send it back.
Right. And a blocking foul is called on Norman Powell. That is the first foul in the game.
Chris Reyes, just the roof. Now, the roof is synonymous with great. Delon Wright, as cool a dude as there is. Nice, absolutely on top of everything in his life. What I want to see from Delon Wright is that big game delivery. When the other team, maybe some of the guys in college can't shoot well enough yet.
And Larry Kraskowiak, this is a guy that when he took over, they won 6 games in 2012. And last year got to 21, made the NIT. And here they are, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. The question is, what seed do they get? And obviously that will depend on how they play the rest of the way.
That's going to be determined on February 28th up at Utah, the Huntsman Center, when Arizona goes up there.
And they waved it off. It was still in his hand. So it is a shot clock violation. Larry Kraskowiak was upset, but not at the officials. He's mad at his team. It took too long for them to get going on that set. They knew how much time was on the shot clock coming out of the timeout.
The more I see Coach K, Larry Kraskowiak, the more I see Jerry Sloan in him. Now, Jerry Sloan still working for the Utah Jazz. Kraskowiak played for Jerry Sloan, and when Kraskowiak first got the job, he asked Jerry Sloan to come up and speak to the team. Traveling violation ignored.
Hamilton misses
the feet. So Jerry Sloan comes in with his John Deere hat on in his monotone, but that was Jerry. And so Jerry comes in and just looks at these young guys and says, just go out and guard somebody, please.
Oh, Norman Powell attacking and getting the layup. Well, that's not true. There are coaches who have no show.
Coaches change teams. Coaches change teams all the time, and they don't have to sit out. Come on, let's modernize the rules and make it real for the players in the 21st century. And we're not living in the time of serfdom.
Yeah, we're definitely not. Hurdle with the basket and a foul, a chance to tie the game. He just missed that free throw, and he shoots 45% of the year at the foul line.
UCLA is outworking Utah.
Powell, great patience down there. He had 3 Utes around him. He just waited, and then he got.
Before Washington had to kick Upshaw off the team. I mean, this was a 2-point game. The next time you looked up, it was 25.
Yeah.
Brandon Taylor, Chris Reyes, Jakari Tucker.
Norman Powell in the lane. With the games are at home, and they have just 1 loss here at Pauley Pavilion this season. That was against Gonzaga, who's a top 5 team. Here's Powell. And boy, Norman Powell, what a year this guy has had. He's a guy that flash skin, but flesh colored.
That's not a Band-Aid, that's tape, which are 2 different things.
Powell into the paint, and he got it rejected by Wright. Parker, and he's fouled.
They're about the team, and they're about winning. But until they pick up the pace a little bit here and play with the passion and enthusiasm that UCLA is showing, the Utes won't get it done tonight.
Delon Wright with a rebound off the leverage miss.
And every game is
Gonzaga, and they were in that game in the second half.
Gonzaga is a much better team than UCLA.
That's my point. The Bruins were in that game in the second half as Hamilton couldn't get it to drop.
Strength of Utah. Team play, depth. Unselfish to send it back. Chris Reyes, Pirtle, the joint block.
Here's Delon Wright.
Whoa.
And he's fouled. They're going to call the foul.
Okay, so how's that not a technical foul? Now you explain this to me. Because if you foul a guy after the whistle has already whistled one foul, first of all, Bryce Alford threw the guy out of the way. Yeah. A foul after the whistle.
And that's why you refuse to make a pick on
I
television.
have learned, I'm 62 years old. I know that you refuse to divulge your age, but I have learned over the course of my life to never rank, rate, or compare coaches, championships, concerts, children.
The press conference. That was
you asked me if I believed them, and that is asking me to judge their credibility and integrity, and that is a ludicrous question for someone like me who knows both of those guys. But I know full well
Powell fouled by Chapman.
That it doesn't matter what the rules are as long as the rules are equally enforced. And if they want to play with deflated balls, that's fine.
First foul on Utah here in the half.
What does it matter? It matters if they're any good.
Well,
and they're good.
No, if it's against the rules to deflate footballs.
Why? Why is that against the rules?
Oh, it is. I mean, it is against the rules, so you're not supposed to do it. And that's why I asked you last week if you saw the press conference where Tom Brady denied it vehemently.
So you're supposed to have your shirt tucked in, too. And you're supposed to have a uniform on.
That's true.
Why does Kevon Looney play 30 feet from the basket and Tony Parker even further away? These are the big guys. Get them underneath the hood.
There they go. He's setting a screen and then rolling to the basket, offer to the corner. Now Powell into the lane, and Powell gets it to roll home, and it's a 9th. Great player and coach. And she was a guard, point guard.
Well, the guards are important for inbounding the ball, feeding the post, and playing a little token defense on the perimeter. Dawn Staley is just a genius. Utah is just playing so careless out there. They don't have anybody who's playing well. And UCLA's got Alford, Norman Powell playing well. And
Utah over its last 9. They have not scored since the 2-minute mark of the first half.
Looney, the strength of his game is not his back to the basket individual offense. They've got to help him. Play him at the high post more. Another layup.
How about Powell going championships and 2 NBA championships?
Who are the other 2?
Kareem
and Bill Russell.
You got it. Good job. Powell on the drive, and it's a 15-point lead for UCLA. Utah's
one of the most fun team in all the land to watch. But the way the Bruins are playing right now, if they do this every single game, who's going to stop them? These guys got talent. Norman Powell has just put on an absolute clinic. He actually even made one shot. Everything else has been a layup. And Utah has not denied penetration. The big guys have not sealed off the basket area. Guys who are backing up on the way to the basket, they're just getting pork chopped in their face with Norman Powell's lead forearm and elbow. Playing beautiful tonight, Norman Powell. And getting it done defensively. I mean, who on the perimeter for Utah has done anything that you can remember?
Well, Brandon Taylor just hit a 3, and that was only his second.
Years and years. What a combo.
13-point lead for the Bruins. 8.5 remaining in the second half.
And when I came to UCLA, I got to have Kareem and Lucius's dorm room with Greg Lee.
There's Taylor into the paint, got caught in the air, and fans wanted to travel. Apparently he got the pass away before he touched down.
This crowd is awesome tonight.
Wright is fouled. Well, we asked earlier, should he be more aggressive? He's only attempted 3 shots and been to the line twice. Now Delon Wright will shoot 2. As the foul is committed by Thomas Welsh. That is his second and the third on the
T.J. McConnell. And they got the front line, and he gets the ball to his front line.
Well, they have hit a groove right now, Arizona. Whoa. Taylor with a kick out. Here's Tucker, and the 3 goes.
That's Utah basketball. Get in the lane, little Brandon Taylor. Now, Dakari Tucker, guy coming off a huge game, a career high. 19 against Washington last time out. What's he got tonight?
He's got 8. He's hit a couple threes here in the half.
Okay,
in the game.
What's the top block in the pyramid of success?
Trying to watch the game here.
You got that guy sitting next to you giving you all your answers, so please.
That hit the foot of Delon Wright, but not ruled a kick. So it's a turnover, and Wright gets a transition 2 to pull Utah within 10.
Taken of him looking and thinking about me. Beautiful break of the press. Attack.
Hamilton
throw it down.
Welsh with the jam. Great work by UCLA out of the timeout. Welsh gets tangled up with Paczynski on the way back down the floor.
Thomas Welsh. Goodness gracious. Where did this guy come from? Why has he been sitting on the bench all year?
Well, that's because Tony Parker's a starter. Here's a 3 by Tucker, too strong. And that's why Steve Alford called that timeout, wanted to regroup, and they did. Taylor no good on the 3.
Look at Bryce Alford in there battling for that ball.
Now Delon Wright attacks and scores. And
made everybody just said, oh, come on, that's just a giveaway to put the Lakers over the top. Remember Greg Popovich, whose birthday was yesterday, 66 yesterday. And now, all of a sudden, this Marc Gasol, who's got one of the great teams in all the land, Memphis Grizzlies. Who would have ever thought that?
Utah trying to get it down to single figures as we near the 5-minute mark here in the second half. Right to the basket again, over Tony Parker.
Is to realize how hard that next level is.
Great defense.
Paczynski.
And now Utah getting out and running.
Dakari Tucker for 3.
No good. And Powell with a rebound. That would have cut it to 5.
All the big guys in this game, whether it's Looney, whether it's Paczynski, whether it's Pirtle, who hasn't really played very much, we hope his foot's okay. All the big guys keep backing up on defense. It's been at its best when the Bruins have tried to dribble through it and tried to get fouled themselves to go to the line as opposed to thinking about the team victory.
Delon Wright takes but can't make it. Rebounded by Looney, and he's fouled by Loveridge. Wright upset with himself that he didn't make that one.
Iowa State and Utah can do it with class, dignity, and pride. What's to prevent UCLA with every advantage known to man from getting it done themselves?
1 minute to go. Loveridge for it 3. In and out.
Great rebounding by the guards.
And Powell is fouled.
Norman Powell from the start.
Looks like UCLA is going to get back to 500 in conference play and hand Utah just its second loss in the Pac-12, dropping them into a second-place tie with Stanford, a game behind Arizona for the top spot in the conference at the midway point almost in league play.
Don't go out on a limb. It's called the turn. UCLA. If UCLA does not win this game, it will go down as one of the all-time collapses ever, reminiscent of what Gonzaga did in the NCAA tournament against UCLA in Oakland quite a few years ago.
Powell missed the first one. What a great night for Norman Powell.
Oh,
22
tremendous.
points at 23 in the loss last week. And Oregon is really the only offensive weapon in that game for the Bruins against the Ducks.
Norman Powell did everything that Krzyzewski told his players for Utah that Norman Powell would do.
Yep. Delon Wright, tough shot with the left hand. It goes. It's back to 8. And they get a turnover here. They're trying